Good evening, good people, or good morning. Hope we're all doing well, hope we're all plugging away with COVID, getting through all this. But yeah man, today I'm going to show you guys how you can mix your beats very fast without having to mess around with lots of plugins and just be able to get through it really quickly. This has been my mixing process for the past like 2-3 months. It's so much easier. You don't have to worry about overclipping or underclipping. You can get the beat sounding punchy every single time. And yeah, if you're like me, like once I've finished the beat, once I've done the loop, added the drums and structured it, like I just want to get through the mixing process as fast as possible so I can, get it uploaded, get it sent out and whatnot. So yeah, if you want your beats to sound clean consistently, then yeah, this tutorial is going to be helpful for all of you guys. I'm going to leave this unedited so you guys can follow along at home. I'll maybe cut through some bits where I can't string 2 sentences together because I do that a lot when I'm filming. But yeah, I'll try and leave the whole mixing process as uncut as possible just so you guys at home can follow along. A few more days until I'm dropping the Venus kit, a Venus guitar MIDI kit, some really nice melodic MIDI files for guitars. So that's going to be dropping real soon. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and yeah, let's just get into this one. Okay, cool. So we've got this beat that I've just cooked up right here. Okay, nothing crazy. Now what I'll do when I first start to mix, and you can kind of start this from anywhere, so it doesn't matter if you've bounced your whole loop out before you add drums, or you just go in straight after you've put all your sounds in. It doesn't matter. But basically what we're going to do is put everything in the mixer, level it, and turn it up. That's basically what we're going to do. Okay, so let me show you exactly how I go about doing that. So first thing I'm going to do is ignore these plugins because all these plugins are accumulated, and I basically bounced the whole melody out right here. All the midis and stuff's here, but I don't need those anymore. So I'm just going to focus on these, and I'm going to put these into the mixer so we can go ahead and level them properly. And this is just an additional step. You don't have to do this, but I just like to come in and just color the sounds that I'll be using in the mixer just so I know where I'm at, just to keep me organized. So those are all the sounds that are currently being used, so I'm just going to go in and just color these. I'm just going to go blue, pink, and I'm just going to go ahead, highlight all of these, drop them in the mixer like so. Okay, now we're just going to go in and level everything. Okay, if you guys don't know what leveling is, it's just changing the volume, basically changing the volume of all the sounds in here. Now try not to pay attention to like exactly where I'm putting these faders, because your sounds are all going to come through at different levels and volumes to mine. So don't copy exactly, but I'm going to explain like whereabouts I'll have these hitting, based on the actual volume, not the actual fader. So don't copy the faders basically. So the first sound that I'll go in and level is the 808. So I'm just going to solo it, make sure that the 808's coming through. Okay, so as we can see, like, that's not good. Like, it's way too loud. So I'm going to come in and I'll adjust the levels between -6 dB and -3 dB. Let me turn it down. Okay, that's good. Smack bang in the middle. That sounds good to me. Then the next main sound in this beat is a kick. Not all beats are gonna have kicks, but I'll do the kick after I've done the 808. Again, that's coming through way too loud. Okay, that's good. It's like, let me just move it so it's like lined up against the 808 so you can see it properly. Okay, so just coming in a little bit louder than the 808. You don't want to be crazy loud. You don't want to go like way over the top with it. Just keep it all nice and uniform. So that's the 808 and the kick done. Next I'll do the clap. Okay, it's a little bit too loud, so I'm going to bring that down. Okay, that's good. So like just below the 808, because like basically you just want to go with like your prominent sounds first. So 808 is between -3 and -6. That's like my baseline, and then everything else you kind of do after that. So clap's just going to come in just below the 808, and this is normal. I normally do this. Okay, so about there. So whilst you're watching this, look at the levels that I'm at on these bars, and like look at where everything is in relation to each other. So everything's quite close. So next I'll come in and do the hi-hat. That's actually okay. Maybe a little bit quieter. That's cool. Okay, now I've got this little like clap perk type sound. Okay, so just a little bit quieter than the initial clap. Just something to kind of hit, not as prominent as the main sounds. I've got this second hi-hat that I put in, so I'm basically classing this second hi-hat as a perk. So let's class these sounds as perks. So if you're using rim shots or any like shakers and stuff like that, I'll make these ones like really quiet, and I'll maybe space the stereo width out just so they kind of sound like supplementary and like ear candy as opposed to coming straight down the middle. So let's turn it on. Okay, that's too loud. I'm gonna make it about half the volume as the initial hi-hat. So here's the initial hi-hat. I'll put them side by side. That's about right. Separate it. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so in terms of the drums, that's it. That's all my levels done right now. So try not to pay attention to these faders because you know your volumes are going to be different. Just pay attention to the actual level, like the volume that we're actually getting from these sounds. So the 808, I always start off with -3, between -3 and -6 dB. And then after that, you kind of use that level to kind of go off and judge everything else. So that's all done. That's all the drums done. Now I'm just going to turn on the melody right here. If you don't do what I do, if you don't just bounce everything out as a loop, a single loop, so it's like this. If you don't do that and you've got all of these extra sounds coming at different volumes, then run all of them through. So let's say like these 4 had all separate instruments in them. Run all 4 of them through a sub bus so you can adjust the whole melody, you know, at once. But yeah, I've already got mine as like 1 track, so I'm just gonna adjust them all. So let's play the melody. That's too loud. I'm gonna go about between like 30 and 50% of the 808 in terms of the level. Yeah, okay, that's sounding good. Alright, cool, so we've got everything so far. The second step, and this is it, this is the one of 2 steps in this whole mixing process, is I'll now come to my master. You can ignore these sub buses, by the way, this is what I used to do, I need to get rid of them. So I'm going to come to the master, and I've got 2 plugins that I will use. I'll use one of these plugins every single time, and I use the other one sometimes, just depending on like, you know, what it sounds like. So the first one is an EQ, and I've just got this low cut and a high cut. The low cut's at 10 hertz, the high cut's at 3000 hertz. This is just going to cut out any muddy frequencies. So let me turn it on and see what it sounds like. To be honest, like, I'm not too fussed about like, you know, making everything textbook and everything to the thing. If it sounds better off, I'll leave it off. If it sounds better on, then I'll leave it on. In this instance, I think it sounds better when it's turned on, so I'm going to leave it on. And then I'm going to come to my classic clipper by T-Rex. This is actually a paid plugin, I think. I got this for free a while ago, but the alternative is just the standard soft clipper. So I'll do both. So I'll do this with the T-Rex for those of you guys that do have it, and then for those of you guys that don't, I'll use the normal soft clipper. So yeah, with the soft clipper, you just want to turn everything up, turn the slope to 0, leave the output at 0 dB, and then you're just going to mess around with this gain knob right here. The first thing I do is add about -3 dBs worth of gain reduction. So now what I'll do, this is kind of like an extra step if you've put a kick in the beat. So if you have a kick in the beat like you have with mine, there's a lot of low frequencies going on there and the transients go up quite high. So what I'll do is I'll turn the kick off and I'll just add the gain reduction with the 808 coming through. Reason why is like, for some reason with the soft clipper, and especially this soft clipper, the kick doesn't tend to sound too crunchy or bad when it's coming through quite hard with the soft clipper. So what I want to do is make sure I've got the 808 having that hard clipped, you know, that hard hitting sound. So I'll turn the kick off and then just add that 3 dBs worth of gain reduction with the kick off, and then let's see what that sounds like. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the slope down a little bit just to soften up the clipping a little bit. It's a little bit too harsh, so like -0.5. Okay, turn the kick back on. Okay, now once you've done that, you can do a few other things. What I'll tend to do is like I'll just go through, and if anything's coming through too hot, because you know with the soft clipper being on, it's kind of squishing some of those sounds together. So sometimes you might find that like the hi-hat's going to come through a bit too loud, or like some of the perks is coming through too loud, or the melody's too loud. So just go back through and just readjust, you know, make some small adjustments to account for the soft clipper being on. And then once you've done that, you're good. So I think for me the hi-hat's coming through a bit too hot in this beat. Melody's a bit loud as well. A little supplementary claps a little bit too loud as well. And we're there, I think. And that's it. So that's the way I'll do it with the T-Rack soft clipper. Now, if you want to do this with the Fruity soft clipper, if you don't have the T-Racks, then we're just going to add the soft clipper from FL Studio. And then we're going to add the Fruity limiter as well, because we need to use that as like a pre-gain. So let's go and add the limiter. I'm going to turn the ceiling up to full. I'm going to leave the saturation like that. I'm going to turn the attack right down, the release right down, sustain right down. I'm just going to turn all these knobs down. Compressors, just turn everything down for safekeeping. Leave the threshold up at full. Let's turn the T-Racks soft clipper off. Okay, cool. So yeah, so once you've got the soft clipper in, leave that at the default preset, then get the limiter put in and just turn off all the settings. Turn the ceiling up to full, so we're not using the limiter at all. We're just using the gain knob for the limiter. And yeah, just do the same thing. So we're just going to go in and just kind of do this by ear. I normally do this more by ear if I'm using the stock soft clipper. So yeah, just make sure you got the limiter first, then the soft clipper, because you don't want the limiter going way above 0 dB after the clipper, because then that's just going to be pointless. So yeah, go in with the limiter, turn it up until you push it into the soft clipper a little bit, and you'll never go over 0 dB. You just want to go until you've got a punchy sounding beat. So let's go ahead and do that with this. There you go. So let's take a listen to the difference. So this is the T-Racks clipper. Okay, and then let's listen to the limiter and the soft clipper. Okay, so you've still got a nice loud beat. Either way, I like to use the T-Racks because like it gives you a nice bit of saturation as well. And it's just more controllable. Like you can do everything within this one plugin, which is more useful. But yeah, you can still do it the other way. Just put that onto your master chain and just save that as your default template, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, man, that's literally all I do. So get everything in the mixer, level the 808 first between like -6 and -3 dB, and then just go through and level everything, and just go to the master, add the EQ, add the clipper, and then do that limiter and soft clipper combo if you don't have the T-Racks clipper in there, man. And that's it. That's literally all I do for the mixing process. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I feel like this is going to be a lot easier for everybody who is fairly new to mixing or just wants to get quick results. Just a quick mix, get it in, get it done. And to be honest, like this is what most producers do. Like it's not really up to us guys to make the beat dynamic and sound fully mastered, because like somebody has to lay vocals over it anyway, has to go through an engineer and all that kind of stuff. So we just want to get a nice clean mix to send through in the initial stages, and this is like the quickest way that I've found to do it. And yeah, man, that's it. Once you've done, render this out as a wave MP3, get your stems rendered out because you've got them all already in here, and none of these are clipping, which is good because we started with the 808 low, and get it uploaded to your beat store, man. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you did find it helpful, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and yes, I will see you guys in the next one.